Okay, we're going to make a demonstration of the XpoExtender. You can also use it for XAF, so it's not only XPO, it's also XAF in this case. So first, let me show you what you need to do or what you need to have. In here you will find this notes text file, and basically what you need to have is that you need to have a package source that is ours. So this is the URL. And if you don't know how to add a package source to Visual Studio, this is the URL for that also. So check them out, and it will be like really simple to add a new package source. So once you have the package source, I have created a sample application. It's sample in both ways because you have the backend sample and then you have the frontend sample. Basically, the backend is the application that will edit the objects, that basically can create new objects or add new properties to existing objects. And the sample app is the frontend, and that is basically your business application, your ERP, CRM, whatever you have, you name it, that is your application in the end. So, okay, at this moment you have two XAF applications, and also you know that you need to have the NuGet feed. So after that, basically, we will start with the backend. So to implement the backend is quite simple. You just have to come to the module, then manage package NuGet packages, and then in this case it will be already installed. So you'll see that you have this bit XAF Extender client, and that's it. You need to use the version that match your DevExpress version. So for me, in this case, this example is done with 19.2.6. So that's the version that I'm using. And the last number, 58, is our build version. So that's the newest one for that version. And also we have 21.6. So if you're using 21.6, then you should move to the other version. Okay, after you have the NuGet package, you have to implement a little pieces of code that is quite simple. So let's go to the module first. And in the module, basically, you need to add this line that will register the types of the extender, so you can, so they can interact with XAF. So after that is just one line, that's it. And then this, you can do it by hand, or you can do it with this also with this line, which is the default class option to the XpoExtender types. What this will do is it will create a menu, a navigation menu for the types that we just register. So beside that, there is only like one controller, and the purpose of this controller is to basically to select an assembly from where we can load the persistent types of the client application. So if you check the code, it's like really simple. Basically, it's open a file dialog, like where you can pick the file. So nothing complicated here. So let's run the application. That's basically the implementation. So let's run this. And okay, let's log in. And okay, so this is what we have. This is the backend application at the moment. So we have the compile model section and the extended model. So first, let's go to the compile model and let's create a compile model. So a compile model is to go to a compile assembly and get the data out of it. So we will call this sample app compile model. And then the only controller that we have implement this action, which is load assembly. So in here, you just need to go and pick up the assembly where your persistent classes live. In this case, I will load the module of the sample application. So after that, you will see these are your persistent types there. And that's the only thing that you need to do. You do it this way so you can create several versions of the extended model. So after that, let's create an extended model. Let's do a new model. Then in here, let's associate the compiled model that we have. So, and this will be extended model. Okay, so we have the extended model, so we can go to the extensions, and in the extensions area we can do two stuff. Basically, what we can do here is to create new types and to extend existing types. So I will stop here and I will go to the client application because I wanted to show you the state of the client application before we run the before we create new properties or new types. So I will run the other application. Okay, so this is the extended application, and let's go and check the customer type. We have name, address, and phone. So we will add two properties to this one, and then to the invoice we will add also a new property here. So we will extend invoice and customer, and also we will create a new type. Okay, we are getting the backend, and let's go to the extended model and let's extend some types. So in this case, if you want to extend, you select compile model class. So let's get customer first. So you can name this as you want. Usually I call them, for example, customer extension. Okay, so let's extend this type. We will create a property. The name of the property will be active, and the type will be Boolean. And also I will add a new property. It will be created on, and this will be date. Okay, so we have extended one type. So let's add a new type in this case. So this will be, we'll call it new type, not really creative. So you don't need to select any compile model class if you want to create a new type. You just leave it empty. And then for this we will do maybe like total, and this will be decimal. Let's see, decimal. And then let's also add maybe, well, let's do daytime. Okay, so let's save this, and after that basically we just need to run the client application. Okay, so we have the client application open, and let's go to the customer type. So as you can see here, we have the new properties that are active and created on, and then also you can see here that you have the new type. So in here we can just create a new record, for example, and see the total is decimal as we defined it before, and also the created on is the same, is date as we defined it before. So I'm going to close this again, and now I will extend it one more time. So you can see that you can continue extending the model over and over again. So for the new type, we will add a Boolean property, and then for the invoice, we will add also a property here. So and okay, we have the new type. So let's put one more property for the new type. It's going to be name is valid, and it will be a Boolean. And then for the invoice, we're going to select here the invoice, and the property will be is pay. Oh no, this is a new extension, sorry. Oh, it's good. This should be invoice extension. And the property will be is pay, and it's going to be a Boolean. So we'll save, close, save here, and then just run the client application again. Okay, so here we have the sample application again. So let's go to the invoice type, and as you can see here we have the properties pay. That's the new property that we just defined. Also to the new type, also we have the property, the Boolean property is valid. And well, customer is still the same as we leave it before. So you can continue extending your model. And if you decide to basically delete the extensions, well, then you will not see the properties in XAF or XPO, but the column will still be there in the database. We don't drop anything from the database because you might use it later. So let me show you how you should implement the code in your client application. So for that, it's also like really simple. Basically, you just need to go to your module application. I mean, to the module of your application. And then in the module class, you only have to add a few lines. First is that you need to load from the configuration the name of your extended model, because this is the model that you will go and query to get what is new, right? So basically, the name of the extended model, you can put it in the config file. So in this case, you will see it here. We have a setting that is called extended model name, and it's looking for extended model. Remember that when we create the extended model on the backend, we name it like this, so the name need to match. If it doesn't match, it will basically not find anything and it will not extend it. So that's how you change the name of the model. You can have several models on the backend, and depending on this name, you will load them on your client application. So beside that, basically you just need to declare a metadata client and pass the connection string. This connection string is the database where the other application is saving the metadata. So basically after that, you just need to call these lines. You need to get the dynamic types. Those are the new types that you define. And it's really important that you do it in the constructor of your module, because if you do it in any other place, it will not work. There is a specific moment where you can include new types, and that's this moment. I mean, you need to do it here. So after that, with the types that you just generated, you just need to add them to the additional exported types. So in here we're just generated one type in our example, but you can do add range and put as many types as you want. So this will get whatever you define on the other side, and then with this line you will include it in your XAF application. Then the next line that you need to do is this one. What this will do is it will refresh the type system, and also after that you can do something like this. For the new types, they will not include default class option or validations or anything, so you can just execute this line for each type, and this will put the default class option attribute. And then you need to just call this line, that is XpoExtender update current model, and you pass the client, and that's it. So basically you can just copy and paste these lines and these lines, and that will be everything for the client. Regarding when you should update the schema, basically in runtime, if you have deployed your application, this will trigger a database mismatch, so you need to use the updater tool, at least in this case. There are other cases that you can update from the backend, but it depends basically on your deployment strategy. So we leave it as simple as we can. This is the most basic example, and well, that's it for this video. If you have any question, you can send us a line. You will find the information on the description of the video. So there you will have the Facebook group and the link to our website. And well, see you guys on the next video.